HowExpert Top 10 Flute Playing Tips. HowExpert publishes quick how-to guides on all topics from A to Z by everyday experts. Visit howexpert.com to learn more. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more HowExpert Top 10 videos in the future. Moving on, let's talk about the HowExpert Top 10 Flute Playing Tips. Number 10. Don't give up. Learning an instrument can seem like a daunting task. Often, mastering an instrument can take years, but you should approach it step by step. Don't worry if you can't get a sound out immediately. Most people can't. Instead, make smaller and manageable goals to create an enjoyable learning environment. You'll find yourself in a way better mindset for learning. Number 9. Go slow. The main reason people quit an instrument early on is that they expect to sound like professionals as soon as they pick up the instrument. Unless you're the next hybrid Mozart, this is simply not going to happen. If you want to become good as fast as possible, then you need to follow the routines and practice methods of the many musicians before you. Play long tones, learn your scales, practice arpeggios, and the results will be shown in your playing. To add, don't overwork yourself. If it seems like you're making no progress at all, call it a day and try again later. Often, overworking yourself makes your playing worse, and it can make playing boring or excruciating. Just take it at a comfortable pace. Number 8. Learn how to hold your flute. The number one problem among novice flute players is posture. For you to produce a well-rounded and in-tune sound, posture is essential. Yep, that posture, it's essential. This is one of the first things that flute teachers teach their students. Playing with bad posture adds difficulty in playing that shouldn't be present. Straighten up your back. Make sure your flute is at a 90-degree angle and parallel to the ground. Do all this and you'll find yourself producing a rich tone. Number 7. Practice, practice, practice. While overworking oneself sits on one end of the spectrum, playing 5 minutes a week sits on the other. It might be the most cliche saying ever, but practice truly does make perfect. If you put aside just 30 to 45 minutes of practice a day, you will see drastic improvements within just a month. It's obvious the more you practice, the faster you will approach mastering your instrument. Currently, I practice around an hour a day, putting aside 20 minutes for long tones and scales, 15 for arpeggios, and 25 for a solo piece. I've done this for as long as I can remember. I'd like to think that I've become rather good at my instrument. If you can't put in 30 minutes a day, then put in as much as you possibly can without feeling strained. Number 6. Start listening to pro flutists. One way you can hype yourself up to practice, which is hard to do, especially on your off days, is to start listening to professionals perform. Some top-tier performers such as Jasmine Troy, Emmanuel Pahoud, and of course, Sir James Galway. Listening to these professionals will give you a sense of what the instrument is capable of, and hopefully it sparks some motivation to practice. Just keep searching, and I can assure you that you will find a performance or audio recording that will leave you dumbstruck. Personally, Sir James Galway is at the top of the ladder. His performances are just otherworldly. I would recommend listening to his rendition of Winter by Vivaldi on YouTube. Number 5. Start learning music theory. If you plan on taking your interest in music to greater lengths than just memorizing pop songs, then you need to start learning music theory. If you're currently in a band or music theory class, then this shouldn't worry you too much, as you'll be learning it throughout your years as a student. However, if this isn't the case, then it would be wise to invest in some online courses or hire a tutor. Music theory is defined as the study of practices and possibilities of music. A prospective musician must learn music theory. While it may seem difficult, the word theory often scares people. Truthfully, music theory is simply memorization and recall learning. It does get harder later on, but for the first few years, it's rather easy. Number 4, take private lessons. Private lessons can help bring out your strengths, point out your flaws and how to fix them, and overall improve your learning experience. Private lessons are not a requirement to learn, but they are extremely important for beginners since they may not know how to get started. Instead of stressing yourself out on what exactly you're doing wrong, allow a professional to do so. You'll find that learning that way can be extremely easy. Number 3, make friends. The world of classical music and instrumentation can be very foreign territory for some. A way to break the ice and start feeling comfortable is to find people who are going through the same learning process as you, or people who are more advanced than you but share an interest in the same instrument. The classical music community is by no means a small one. You can find people who enjoy playing and share other interests with you. Some ways of how you can join a classical music community is by joining a subreddit, Discord server, or joining an ensemble. Number 2, always have a piece that you are learning. Practicing long tones, arpeggios, and scales are all effective ways to improve your dexterity. However, if that was all there was to a musician, then no one would want to start an instrument. It's important that you always have a piece that you are practicing. Regardless if you perform it or not, it adds an element of fun to practice. Just make sure you enjoy the piece. And number 1, have fun. In the end, what matters is that you're enjoying what you do. Practicing should never be anything less than fun, and if it is, you're doing something wrong. Learning an instrument is for nothing if you don't enjoy playing it, which is why you need to find a middle ground where you are effectively learning and enjoying yourself at the same time. If you follow these tips and adjust them to meet your demands, then I can assure you that you won't have a problem doing so. If you liked our video, be sure to click like and subscribe for more HowExpert Top 10 videos for all topics from A to Z in the future. Also, let us know what other topics that you want us to do a HowExpert Top 10 video in the future in the comments below. Thank you, have an amazing day, and take care. HowExpert publishes quick how-to guides on all topics from A to Z by everyday experts. Visit HowExpert.com to learn more.